This yoga and bodyweight circuit is designed for women over 40 who want to build strength, mobility, and energy in just 10-15 minutes a day. All you need is a mat and a few minutes of your time to do some movement. So let's get started and you'll see just how simple a little bit of consistency can be. We are going to get started with my version of an inchworm. So you're going to stand with your feet just hip width apart, press down into your feet, draw your tailbone towards your pubic bone and lift your pubic bone towards your navel. Take the outer shoulders back and inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold forward. You can also bring your hands to your shins and then walk yourself out into a plank. And then you can stay here for 3 to 5 seconds, strengthening your plank. Or if you're a beginner, just hold your plank and go right back. And then walk the hands back and circle the arms up. Fold forward once again. If your hamstrings are tight again, take your hands to your shin and you can bend your knees as you walk out into your plank. Again, stay here for 3 to 5 seconds and then walk it back. Press into your feet. Inhale and rise. Exhale, fold. If you want to take a more advanced version, then you'll walk yourself out into a plank and you'll do a push-up. And then walk it back. Press into your feet. Inhale and rise. And then let's do 2 more. It's not about going fast. It's about moving with control and stability. And with each time you go through the inchworm, you're going to feel everything just open up a little bit more. And bring your hands to prayer. There are 4 exercises in this routine, and I recommend going through this circuit 3 times. Now, if you are either short on time or maybe this is very new to you, then start with one time and then build up to 3. So the first exercise is a squat. I'm going to show you from the front and from the sides and then show you a couple of modifications. So you want your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and you want your knees to be tracking over your 2nd and 3rd toes. Now everybody's hip anatomy is a little bit different, so some people may turn their feet out wider than me. I keep it probably about, 12 to 15 degrees out. And then you, just like if you're gonna sit back into a chair, you come into your squat. Everyone's squat depth is going to be a little bit different. But ideally you want your thighs to be right in line with your knees or a little bit lower. And then from the side. And as you come up, squeeze your glutes. Now, if this is a challenging move for you, what you can do is you can use a chair and do something called sit-down stand-ups. So you're going to stand in front of your chair and with control, lower to the seat. It's usually those last few inches that give people a problem because we get to about here and then kind of plop down. So that's where the core engagement becomes crucial. Now, if air squats are a little easy, then you can play around with a tempoed squat, and you lower on 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Or you can also hold a weight and do a goblet squat. The next exercise in the circuit are push-ups. But before I talk about push-ups, I forgot to mention how many reps to do of the squats. I would recommend about 8 to 10. And for the push-ups, I would recommend between 5 and 8, depending on the level of difficulty you choose. So as you set up for your push-ups, you want to come into a plank, just as you did a moment ago in your inchworms. Make sure that your shoulders are over your wrists. Step back into your plank, press back through your feet or your heels, squeeze your glutes, and make little jet wings with your elbows. So oftentimes what I see people do is that they'll take their elbows out to the sides, which can be very injurious to your shoulders. So you want to keep it at about 45 degrees. Now, if push-ups on the floor are challenging or you're not able to maintain proper alignment, then I recommend elevating your hands. So you can use a bench, you can use really many things at your disposal. It could be a kitchen counter or a bathroom counter. It could be a step. So same thing here. Come into that plank. You're going to lower about mid-breast and make sure that you're making those little jet wings. The next exercise in the sequence are banded rows. Now, if you are unable to sit up nice and tall with your legs extended, also known as Dandasana in yoga, our staff pose, then I invite you to sit on either a folded blanket or a cushion. Because what oftentimes happens is, maybe our hamstrings are tight and it's hard to sit up comfortably, to sit up tall comfortably, or maybe we start to round in our low back. So you can just sit on, like I said, a cushion, a folded blanket. This is an Eric's pad. And then you're going to take a band and you're going to place the band. I just have a folded band here right around my feet. And you are going to bring your elbows towards your waist. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. So you're strengthening your upper back. And then what I find is if you want to make this a little bit harder, you can maybe take your hands a little further down if your hamstrings allow. Another way to make it more challenging or less challenging is the resistance of your band. So the thicker the band is, the harder it will be, or the more challenging it will be. Another thing are reps. I would recommend doing 8 to 12 reps. The fourth exercise in the circuit are hollow out holds. And I usually like to hold these for about 20 seconds. And I'm going to show you a couple different variations. So to begin, you want to lay down and really press your low back into the floor. So you should not be able to get your hand underneath your low back. So the first modification is just lifting your head and shoulders off the floor. And if it bothers your neck, you can always take your hands behind your head. If this is not challenging enough, you can extend one leg and hold it for 20 seconds and then go to the second leg. To further continue, you can bring your feet off the floor and do some toe taps. And then to advance it further is you can extend your legs up. And the lower you bring your legs, the more challenging it will be. And then eventually you can also take your arms overhead. You can do this circuit every day to build strength and mobility, and it just takes 10 to 15 minutes. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can receive weekly tips on nutrition, yoga, and strength training. And if you want to build your yoga and body weight training further, then just go to the links below, and I have a link to my Yoga Body Strong Body course.